Hey, today's video is about this guy right here. How in the heck am I gonna get him to the Philippines? Stay tuned and find out. All right, let's get to it. Hey. All right, well, this is the video a lot of people have been asking about, is how am I gonna transport my senior dog to the Philippines? And to be honest with you, I have no idea. There are so many avenues, so many tests, restrictions, things that have to be done, and I'll just get into it. You know, is the price of peace worth the hell of the journey? Some say I'm reckless. I say I'm not leaving my best friend behind. Hey buddy, come here, come here. I can't leave him behind. So I started doing this research, and I'm going to try to keep it as simplified as possible. I'll probably get into it again later, but there's just so much information to cover, and it's daunting once you start looking at it. It makes it seem like it's almost impossible, not just to get a pet there, but just because of Kona's age can make it very challenging. But there's two things you got to do right off the bat. You've got to get in touch with the USDA, the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Services. I'll put all a link on these websites, so don't worry about them right now. But that's the first step. And then the second step you'll have to get in touch with is the, I'm sorry, I have to look at my papers here. It's the Filipinos Bureau of Animal Industry, the BAI. And also put that link down there as well in the comment section and also in the descriptions. But this is not an easy process. I thought, it's not gonna be that hard. I do have an ace in the hole with Kona, and it may work, it may not. But you have to start this process 6 months to a year out. That's a long time. First phase is foundation, months in advance. You've got to do ISO microchipping. That's the 15-digit one that can be scanned. It's crucial that you get this done or your animal will get left at the gate. There's vaccinations that they have to have. They have to have the rabies, of course, which we have here. Core canine vaccinations. I'm not going to go through them. I will list them on here, but I will give you a complete comprehensive list. You can also follow the links I'm going to give you and do your own research, but I'll try to put that in there and make it very simplified for you as well. Phase 2, this is a little further down the road. About a month or two before you travel, you will have to create a BAI account. And again, that's to access the online portal for the Philippines BAI site. Again, it's going to be in here. You're going to have to apply for a SPSIC. What is that? Well, it's the sanitary and psychosanitary import clearance. Easy for me to say. And you've got to upload this. You got to have your vaccine records from your veterinarian, who has to be USDA approved. It's not just any veterinarian. I'll get into that a little bit. You have to have some other tests done, like anti-parasitic treatment records. Like I said, a lot more daunting than I planned on. So in phase 3, that's the parasite treatment. That's an internal, external parasite treatment that has to be done by a licensed veterinarian, administered. And then that has to be uploaded to the BAI site. And that's got to be done 7 days, let's see. Requires this to be done not more than 91 days and not less than 7 days prior to applying for the SPSIC. The getting it done within 30-day window of travel is standard best of practice. Then we go into phase 4. We're getting down to crunch time. It's a 10-day window, the final gauntlet. You've got to get USDA accredited vet visit within 10 days of your scheduled arrival in the Philippines. You have to you got to find the USDA accredited veterinarian, and I got to find them here in South Carolina, so I'll be working on that. You got to have international health certificate insurance. The vet will examine the dog, and you got to get this insurance. You've got to get an endorsement from the USDA. And it's done electronically as well. So you can see if you mess up one thing, you might be left at the gate with your animal. Phase 5, arrival, and I'm going to try to go straight to Manila. I'm going to try to avoid Japan, China, Korea, just because of the laws. And I would hate for my animal to get stranded in one of these other countries. So I'm going to try to fly them directly probably from the West Coast, maybe LAX or somewhere, Seattle, directly to Manila. So I'm just going to try to avoid any other countries, just so I have one less thing to worry about. It depends how you transport the dog. If it goes cargo, you got to get it, and it's going to take a couple of hours. It doesn't come through with the regular baggage. There may even be a veterinarian quarantine, so keep that in mind. Customs has got to assess the dog. You got to get through the security gate. It's just a lot. So that, I just wanted to start off to show you how daunting and overwhelming this can be. With that said, how do you get your animal there? How do you transport them? Well, technically, Kona is a service animal, and I can fly him, but he's 55 pounds, and they've got to be able to sit on the floor in front of you, and that's impossible with his size. Also, I do have the option where I could buy a second seat. The animal's not allowed to sit in the seat, but it would give me more floor space. And as you can see, he's a pretty big boy. I mean, he has to stretch out, and I don't know. So I'm looking at other options right now, but that might have to be my go-to. So we get all of this done, and we can send Kona in the cargo hold. There's a special place that's in the front of the plane underneath the pilots. It's climate controlled, pressurized, of course they have to be, dimly lit, so they can have a comfortable place, as comfortable as you can be in a crate. So commercial cabins, option 1. Option 2 is a VIP pet concierge service. They will assist you with all of this paperwork. They will assist you in all the veterinarian records. And I'm thinking, even if I don't put Kona through the cargo and crated, I probably will utilize them, because I don't want there to be any mistakes when I get to the gate and his paperwork is not completed or valid. So I don't think I'm intelligent enough to make sure that I don't miss anything. And that's the last thing I want to have happen, is him be stuck on a tarmac somewhere because I failed to do the proper procedures and get the proper paperwork and documentation. Option C, if you've got $100,000 to $150,000, you can go with NetJets or K9 jets and privately charter a flight for your animal. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have that kind of money, but I just wanted to bring it up. And then option D is a no-go for him because of his age, is the commercial cargo hold. He'll be 12 years old when we leave, and he would not make that flight. So that's a no-go for him. The other thing too, I need to mention is, I'm going to use Philippines Airline as an example. Kona weighs 55 pounds, and they have a weight restriction of 70 pounds. Well, by the time I crate him, he's probably going to be over 70 pounds, and that's going to be problematic. So I've got to look into that as well to figure out what options are there. Like I said, I'm probably going to go with one of these companies. And I didn't mention the price, but for these concierge services, I've been looking at them. There's many of them. That's a lot. I didn't realize there were so many. I mean, I'm in the double digits now reaching out to these folks. But what I'm seeing is anywhere from $8,000 to $12,000 to get them there. Still very expensive, but I mean, what do you do? The other problem, you know, the animal will be on the plane from West Coast US to Manila. That's a 15-hour flight. You know, these animals, you have to prep them before they go. You have to stop feeding them. You have to stop giving them water for the journey, because they're going to be crated and, you know, they're going to be handled. But what happens if the plane gets delayed, or it gets rerouted, or they have to switch planes? Your animal's going to be in there another 3-4 hours before they're released for a potty break, or handled with the handler to, you know, to feed them, give them water. So that's something to really think about. I mean, that's very concerning for me, because I've thought about this. I said, yeah, I'll put him on a plane, he'll fly there, boom, we'll get him at the gate. No, sometimes these flights get rerouted, they get delayed, and what happens to the animal? And I really can't get a great explanation. You're at the mercy of whatever country you're in and whoever decides to handle the animal. I mean, if they treat them like a piece of luggage, your animal may not survive the flight. So that's something else to consider. So that's the worst case scenario. If they get delayed, he remains locked in that crate. And I can't do that to him. And what I was talking about, say Philippines Airlines, for example, and I'm not picking on them, that's the one I happen to see the most information on, because I'm flying to the Philippines. That cargo trap, and I'm just going to read this, and the excessive baggage, pets at 70 pounds, including the weight of the crate, you know, a $55 inside a heavy-duty reinforced international travel crate can easily blow past 70 pounds. The result, he cannot fly his baggage. He must be booked as manifest cargo under his own separate airway bill. Because he flies as manifest cargo, he is not on my ticket. He is treated as a commercial freight. My live animal, my buddy's live freight, commercial freight. He might be on my plane, he might not. He might be routed on a completely different flight path. He could go to Amsterdam and fly down. I've seen that route before for animals. Or departure date might be a different day. So I'm just not comfortable doing that. So my 4 options: 1, main cabin, service animal. I'll just buy an extra seat. That's probably going to be the most cost effective. Secondly, I can hire a VIP concierge service, which I probably am going to hire a portion of that to handle all the paperwork with the USDA and BAI in the Philippines, because we're dealing with 2 different government systems, 2 different agricultural systems and pet systems. So I don't want that paperwork to be tainted or messed up. So even if I don't use them for the full service, I will use them for the paperwork. And then the third way is the cargo. You know, he can fly, but if he weighs a certain amount of pounds, he might become commercial freight, just a piece of luggage, even though he's a live animal. And then D would be the net jets or canine jets, and I'm getting quoted $100,000 to $150,000. So I don't have that, so that's out. But then the problem or the issue with traveling in the cabin with me is I'd have to think about pee pads and body chucks or doggy diapers. And, you know, I don't like to impose on people. I know there's people who are scared to death of animals, scared of dogs especially one his size. And even though legally he can fly with me. I don't want to indispose other people. I don't want to do that to people. And I know I was once on a flight from Hawaii, and there was a gentleman, and he was obviously fearful of this, and it was a golden retrieval, but he had a fear of dogs. And the dog actually had more rights than him. They told him if he didn't sit down, he would be removed from the plane, or he could go give up his first class seat and go sit in the back of the plane. And that just didn't sit right with me. It didn't. I mean, you know, he's a paying customer. He paid for his first class seat, but he had to feel like he was doing something wrong and relegated to the back of the plane, which he did go back there and sit. And I just never thought that was right. It didn't sit right with me. And I don't want to inconvenience someone who's on a 15 to 16 hour flight. So I've got that to work with. The other thing is, and this is the hardest part, I have taken him to my vet and I've told him what I want to do. Kona's a little anxious. Even though he's a wonderful dog, he is glued to me. I mean, he is my ride or die. He's focused on me. I'm the only thing that really matters in his life. And when we get separated, it's not good for him. For any significant amount of time, he gets very anxious, starts panting, shortness of breath. And my vet told me, he goes, Doug, you got to think about this. He's going to be an elderly dog then. He might not survive the trip. Because of his breed, he's mixed. He got some super mutt, he got some chow, he's got all kind of stuff. But it's more of their breathing is labored in the summertime. It's harder for him to get his breath. He always has to stay near a fan. And you know, the Philippines is hot. He goes, the Philippines is really hot and humid. And you know, him being 12, 13 when you go might be too much on him. Even just the trip may be too much for him. And it got me to thinking, well, what do I do? Do I stay here? Do I just put my life on hold? Because, I mean, I do love him, but also I need to move on with my life as well. It's not that I'm getting rid of him. I would never do that. But then I started thinking, I moved back from Hawaii in 2018, and Kona was gifted to me by my two sons. And he's been with me ever since. And he's been through my second divorce. He's been through a couple of moves. He's been through some really dark times with me. And so he's really loyal, and I want him taken care of. So this past Father's Day, I had a chance to talk to my two sons, who are 30 and 27 now, or will be 27. And I told them, I said, you know, I'm really thinking about going to the Philippines. It's not cost effective for me to stay here. And being the wonderful men they are, they were supportive. Dad, you go, you live your best life. But then maybe this life comes full circle. Maybe Kona gets to live his retirement here on a farm. My son has a farm, or small farm. My other son has another dog that Kona loves, a little Frenchie, and they get along great. So maybe that would be an option, that Kona gets to stay with the people who actually rescued him and found him and loaned him to me, so my life could be better. Because the last thing I want to do is put him through that hell of a grueling, that's 24 hours flying. That's just not going from South Carolina to LA to Manila to Davao City. It's a hell of a trip. And the vet said, you need to really think about this, because he might not make it. So that's my dilemma. I'm still researching it. I've got time, trying to find the most cost-effective way, as you can imagine, because those numbers I threw out to you are very expensive. The age of Kona is a concern. The logistics are definitely a concern. I mean, the only two options I would see is him flying in the cabin with me, or him getting put on a $100,000 flight, which we know that's not going to happen. Or when the time comes, if he's not moving well, or he's got health issues, he's got bad hips, and he's not doing well physically, then maybe maybe he goes back to my sons and he stays with family and lives out his remaining days being happy and healthy. But that's my dilemma. If you've got any questions or if you got any comments, just smash that button, please. Just smash the button, the subscribe button, but also comment. Please be kind with me. Don't think I'm abandoning Kona at all. He's the love of my life. I'm just talking this out because I know there's other people who have done it. Like I said, I'm here to learn just like you guys are. So it's a process, and anything you can do to help me with this and help me wrap my head around it, because it is a lot and it's very emotional, because every time I think about leaving him or him passing away, I get very upset. But I don't want to kill him in the process by making him endure something he can't endure at his age. So that's all I got today. I'm going to put these links in the description bar. I've got a lot, so just go in and do your own research if you're thinking about doing this. I'll link it to comments at the top, put it in the description. So, but anyway, this was Father's Day. I know this will release till next week, but for all you dads out there, I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. Enjoy your family, love them while you got them. Until next time, remember, time is strong. Come on! Come here.
Time is strong, and so are you. You have got to stay focused. Never give up on your big dreams.